then you get what you want. Reality, there is no need, got the way out. Don't you see that the way out is also a part of the dream? All you have to do is see the dream is a dream, then you get what you call reality.
When you're out in the field, there's absolutely nothing better than a good night's sleep. And getting a good night's sleep in the field is very, very difficult to do. So the best, most cost-effective sleeping system available in the world today is the Canadian Armed Forces sleeping bag. Now, I've modified it slightly, but this is essentially how it works. You've got a Gore-Tex outer that, even though you may or may not have a mobile operations center have time to set it up, you can pull this out. This is completely waterproof. You could sleep and a river could run underneath you during the night and you will still remain dry. Beneath that you have the Canadian Forces outer. This is filled with an eider down, okay? All of it's the down from these Arctic ducks, I guess is what they tell us. But it's extremely, extremely warm. You will not need to use all of this all the time. Just sometimes the outer will be fine. Inside of that you have the inner. So you have the Gore-Tex bag, the outer, then the inner sleeping bag. The inner sleeping bag has no zipper on it and has this sheath that goes over top. This sleeping bag system here, now there's been so many different variations of it. Some folks, what they do is they take like 2 outers. I think this one, depending on the year of the issue, you can have 2 outers, but you have one, like an inner sleeping bag and an outer sleeping bag. I like this one because it's got the fleece top, so when you're all snuggled down, you can put this up over your head, and the flannel on it keeps you nice and warm. Beneath that, you don't want to sweat to meet completely in your bag, so what I have is you can get a liner for it, which is a cotton liner that will absorb your body sweat, but I like using this Norwegian Arctic fleece blanket. This is issued to Norwegian troops apparently. So that is your complete system. Now, as good as this is, to make your sleep a little bit more comfortable, it's good to have an air mattress. A lot of the civilian air mattresses on the market require a lot of time to blow up. This Canadian Forces air mattress here, if you unscrew the nozzle, it will self-inflate over a period of time. If you leave it for like half an hour, you come back, you simply do up this nozzle, and it'll be compressed and keep you off the ground. The earth wants to kill you. It will suck all of the heat from your body if you're sleeping in the cold. It is very important you do not sleep on the ground. If you have not got a sleeping system like this and you have to work with minimals, you only got to range your blanket, lay down sticks, lay down anything to create an air space underneath you so you do not sleep directly on the ground. This can lead to hypothermia and death.
There is no need, got the way out. Don't you see that the way out is also a part of the dream? All you have to do is see the dream is a dream, then you get what you call reality. There is no need, got the way out. Don't you see that the way out is also a part of the dream? All you have to do is see the dream is a dream, then you get what you call reality. Then you get what you call reality. Then you get what you call reality.
Two Canadian Forces shelter halves are zipped together. You use your pole inside the rings here to keep it tight and solid, and this should be kept down over. Some people gun tape this down so that make sure that there's no rain going to get through on that seam. All seams, all zippers are an opportunity for leaks. You want to watch that. Going around, all I've done is taken 550 paracord, which is available at any Army surplus store, and I use that in conjunction with bungee cords to provide like a leverage action, a spring action. If a guy were to come in here and hit this, it's not a big deal. Versus a lot of modern tents, if you were to go and throw things at it, do whatever at it, a lot of the time your gear will it'll rip through the tent. But this is a heavier gauge material, so it'll stand up longer. It's about durability. Okay, everything to do with the military is about durability and endurance, because you have to equip a lot of men, so you can use their rationale to your advantage. Moving around, more 550 cord, using just standard steel nails, just about 7 to 8 inch nails, 24-cent jobbies. Try to get them galvanized so you have no rust. You just use your paracord to tie it off. If you're in a severely windy condition or mountain condition, you may wish to tie it off at every single loop, and then this thing will look like a rock when it's done if you tie off every single loop. As well, if you're in the bush, you can tie these up into angles into trees, and you can actually make quite a nice little dome for yourself if you've got the bush around. But we are deploying on a completely flat surface. All around the back here, you'll notice that it's the same as the front. You can leave it open, but what I've done is I've tied it off. This is designed to be tied off, so you have a little bit of privacy for whatever happens, coming and going, what have you. Moving around to the far side here, we've got straight bungee cord going down, providing lots of tension. Now there's an advantage to disadvantage to having lots of tension and wide spread out. You probably want to get this as close to here as possible. If you're in a wetter climate, you may wish to just pin this directly to the ground. But in a colder climate where it's sort of dry, if you've got the shelter, it's nice to have it low so you got a little bit of ventilation in there if it's warm, but if it's really, really cold, keep it down, keep it low to the ground, keep the body heat in. That's the idea. Same here, you can, on the other side, I tied off all 5 to 1 point. This one here, I've tied them off just to here. So I've got 2 points. I've got your center point, and I've got the other one here. There's no set rules. It's about what gets it tight. You can tie everything to individual spikes. It doesn't matter, but what is important is that all the weight is transferred to the ground. Let Mother Earth support you. I've used just a paracord, a piece of bungee cord rather, to keep this tent flat back. If during the night you want to just throw that over, tie yourself down, and then you have a completely closed unit. Now we have the WOG Mobile Operations Center, or MOC. This setup here will enable you to exist in the field for quite some period of time. All of the gear you see here is brand new. Of course, over time it will weather, but due to the construction of this shelter, wind, rain, sleet, it has all kinds of give. Being rigid is not good. You must build a shelter like water. You put water in a bowl, it becomes the bowl. You put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. Make your shelters like water, my friend. So as long as you keep it strong and firm, and with enough give, the importance is give. You must keep everything very, very sturdy. But all the people wonder, how is this possible? The way it's done is because everything's transferred to the pegs. You have to run around this thing in concentric circles until you get it really, really tight, and then you nail it down. There's no real way to explain how to set this up without looking at the basic design and then going out in the bush and doing it yourself. Because all this is an elaborate piece of wide fabric. That's all. Push came to shove, you could make your own version of these just by studying this video and seeing how it's set up. Of course, you wouldn't be using bright orange bungee cords. You want to get yourself some olive drab spray paint, some black spray paint, matte